This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for December 22, 2022. And in the news tonight, nurses in the southern region to be paid by Friday, says Chen. Nurses in the Southern Regional Health Authority should receive their December salaries no later than Friday, says SRHA Chairman Wayne Chin. Nurses have been fuming having not received the salaries and arrears under the new compensation system. They should be paid any time now. I don't want to make any promises but they will definitely be paid no later than Friday, Chen told the news shortly before 4 p.m. on Thursday. Karen Wright-Foster, second vice president of the Nurses Association of Jamaica, told the news that the association was assured that at least some workers would be in receipt of their salaries on Thursday. Our last correspondence, they said in short order, persons should be able to see payment. Some persons, that is, Wright-Foster said. Late Wednesday afternoon, Patsy Edwards-Henry, president of the Nurses Association of Jamaica, told the news that nurses and other health personnel in the SRHA, comprising the parishes of Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Elizabeth, were disappointed with the delay, adding that the association had hoped the issue would have been resolved by Wednesday night. Police Commissioner to recommend more SOEs. There is another indication that more states of public emergency will be declared by year-end, with Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson signaling that he will be recommending another round of SOEs in parishes with high crime rates. The last set of SOEs expired on Tuesday. The measure was imposed on December 6 in Westmoreland, St. James, Hanover, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Anne, and several police divisions in Kingston and St. Andrew. General Anderson said the security measure is needed to interrupt the level of criminality in the targeted parishes.
There are some places that are have such a high level of violence and violent crime that the emergency powers are significant in impacting that violent crime. So it's just, we call horses for courses. It is what is required based on the plan and the problem for each space. And we're getting results in all of them. The other aspect of things is that where we have had an SOE in place, I am certainly going to ask that we declare again in some of those spaces. We might change the boundaries a bit, but there are still places where the problem hasn't gone away, and we're going to need those measures again in the last part of the year and into the first part of next year. And of course, the way the plans work, so St. James has its plan, Hanover has its plan, Westmoreland has its plan, and we use appropriate tools where it's necessary to get the results that we get. So we should be seeing declines in parishes, whether there's an SOE in place or not, because the ones where the SOE are, that's what's necessary there. In the ones where that's not what is necessary, we use other methods.
Tourism Ministry responds to concerns about the Devon House project. The Minister of Tourism says it is aware of the negative reactions from people on social media to the construction underway at the courtyard at Devon House. The development began in March this year. There has been mixed reviews to the development, with some expressing concern that it is reducing the green spaces on the property. But Delano Steve Wright, a senior strategist in the Tourism Ministry, says the project is not yet complete. He says the project covers only 2% of Devon House's land area, and once it's complete, it will appear lusher.
Once a project is done, it will appear lusher. The trees will mature, the shrubs will be planted, and that will look beautiful, and we'll have vines growing on the pergolas that are installed. I want to also highlight that only one tree was removed from the project, one Poinciana tree, and that was on the recommendation of the Forestry Department because it's pretty much rotten, and that's very dangerous. We had to address issues, of course, as relates to uneven surfacing, the poor drainage, the limited seating, and the lack of ease of movement.
Jamaicans with certain criminal records encouraged to apply for expungement. Jamaicans with criminal records for certain offenses are being encouraged to apply for expungement through the Ministry of Justice. Senior policy analyst at the Justice Ministry, Shanique Graham, in a recent interview, said expungement aims to remove an offense from a person's criminal record. It aims to give persons a second chance, a clean slate to start over, to be able to apply for a job, migrate, and to have peace of mind, knowing they do not have a certain offense following them, she said. There are specific offenses that the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act clearly specifies cannot be expunged at this time. Murder and offenses in relation to distribution of child pornography, carnal abuse with a person under 16, and sex with a person under 16 are not expungible. There are also issues in relation to firearm possession and ammunition that are not expungible at this time. There is a long list in the legislation that we are governed by, Graham said. She pointed out that the persons must first be aware that they have a criminal record. Usually, this happens when a person is applying for a job and they are asked to get a police record. When you get the police record and you realize an offense comes up, you may not have remembered there was an offense because it happened 20 years ago, she said. Once an offense has been identified, persons can contact the Ministry of Justice. For details on how to get your records expunged, persons are being encouraged to visit moj.gov.jm. JAS reports a shortage of pig and chicken feed. The Jamaica Agricultural Society says it has been receiving complaints of a shortage of pig and chicken feed. JAS President Lenworth Fulton said several farmers have been expressing concern that they will be going into the long holiday weekend without animal feed. He said regular outlets have been out of stock of both types of feed since the start of the week.
The feed stores that distribute both brands of feed are complaining that there is a shortage in feed, chicken and pig. Since the early part of this week, since Monday coming up, they're having the problem. And one farmer told me he got only one bag of pig feed. He needed 20, and he got one. So it's a serious situation, and I'm investigating what is causing it, but I haven't heard anything substantial as to the cause, but I know the feed is short.
Lawyer Lisa Mae Gordon gets a temporary stay of suspension from practicing. The Court of Appeal has granted a temporary stay of execution of an order of the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Counsel suspending attorney-at-law Lisa Mae Gordon from practicing for the next 6 months. The stay, which was granted on Wednesday, will remain in effect until January 10 next year, when there will be an inter-parties hearing. She is asking the court to grant a stay until her appeal has been heard. Gordon was last month found guilty of professional misconduct over the sale of a property in Orange Grove, Trelawney, which fell through. The committee had ruled that as a condition of being reinstated, Gordon must pay US $35,000 to the complainants who had attempted to buy the property in 2014 and had paid a deposit directly to the vendor, which the vendor did not return. Gordon had acted for the vendor. In addition, Gordon was ordered to pay $200,000 for legal costs for the complainants and the GLC. Gordon said except for US $10,000 deposit, all the funds were paid directly to the vendor by the complainants without her knowledge and consent. Several grounds of appeal have been filed in which Gordon is asking the Court of Appeal to overturn the committee's ruling that she was guilty of professional misconduct. Gordon is objecting primarily to the finding that as the vendor's attorney, she owed a duty of care to the purchasers. She is also asking the court to find that the respondent erred as a matter of fact and or law in awarding compensation of US $35,000 to the complainants, having regard to the circumstances of the case, including the fact that she did not derive any financial benefit from the payment of these sums by the complainants. Gordon, who is being represented by the law firm Henlin Gibson Henlin, is asking the court to set aside the decisions of the committee. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.